BJ and PK, we're joined now by Trevor Reilly, former Ute and NFL player and general manager of the Utah Islanders. Trevor, how are you?
I'm doing great. This is a great new I haven't been in the studio. It's fantastic. It's wonderful.
It is nice. Your name actually came up on the show a couple weeks ago. I don't even know what we were talking about. I think we were talking about at the end of camp, they're always looking for distractions to get through the last few days and have some fun. I said, yeah, I remember being up at a Ute practice once when you could watch the Ute practice, and they did something where they were throwing the football out of the stadium at the end of practice. Fred Winningham used to come up with these things, right?
Yep.
And I said that, and the place went nuts, and I couldn't see who did it, but I said, I think people told me that it was Trevor Reilly who threw it out.
Did you do that? In the game, too.
Yeah.
At the Colorado game.
Practice what you preach, man. Okay, we put it on paper. Yeah, no, we used to do that, Coach. Jake Murphy one time had to catch a fly ball, and Scally used to hit. I mean, we did all kinds of stuff back in the day. They say, especially in those two-a-days, he had to find some fun stuff in that second practice.
Yeah, it turns out two-a-days were a bad idea all along.
A little dangerous, but whatever. We survived, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were also talking about the Utah's depth, how they've been able to increase the depth of their program. And Kalani had used an example to me where it was, I think it was the second time the Sun Devils came through Rice Eccles, and I think it was you needed a blow, and so he took you out, and they went right at where you were.
Yeah.
And they went down and time and score. They had something, I forget the details, but he said that they know when to take you out and everything, and they didn't have the depth behind you, and the Devils knew it, and they just attacked that position when you were on the sideline.
I distinctly remember I've had nightmares about this. Jay Hill screaming at me in the fourth quarter. Why are you coming out of the game? Where are you? I said, Coach, it's play 80. Okay, this is back when Anai and those guys and Rodriguez were running, 100 plays a game. You remember that whole thing, right? And so, to your point, we didn't have the guys.
Right.
We just didn't have them. We had freshmen, or we had guys who weren't, they were undersized, they were walk-ons type guys. I went and watched the game in L.A. this weekend. I mean, this is the biggest team I've ever seen, Utah. I mean, their offensive line is the biggest I've ever seen. That's NFL included. They're huge.
Yeah.
Over 6. Their center's 6'5", man.
Yeah.
They're huge. And so, to your point, they've done a heck of a job. I mean, they even got a corner over there, Jackson Benning. Okay, he's a walk-on from Olympus. He's playing both ways as a redshirt freshman. I mean, they've done some incredible things, a lot better than what they did 10 years ago. But you can see the gradual, I call it the escalation or the growth of the program.
Because you were there in the beginning when they were
ugly.
making the transfer or the transition from Mountain West to Pac-12.
Yeah, my first year at 2010, 9 and 10, my first 2 years, we were Mountain West.
Yeah.
And we were dominating everybody. But to your point,
right.
We were very, very top-heavy roster-wise. And so we had those lean years, but I know credit to Robert Blecken. Robert Blecken and the whole staff, they really – I think they have 40, 50 new players this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally not normal for Utah. So credit to them.
It's the new normal.
It is.
It was not normal, but I think it's going to be normal going forward, and Kyle seems kind of resigned to it.
I was at Jackson State and we cut 70 or 60, okay? And then we went to Colorado and cut about 70. And everyone kind of jumped down our throats that you were cruel and it was all this stuff. But looking at the whole landscape now, that's the norm. That's interesting. It's really – I don't think it's sustainable either. I think they're going to legislate it. I think the feds will get involved eventually because it's just transferring every year, right? I don't see that as a thing, especially when you're paying kids. It's highway robbery for some of these kids, man. You get hurt for a year and you just took some money and then see you later. It's kind of an interesting thing.
And then you got kids transferring 2-3 times.
Yeah.
And it's impossible to keep up with. So they'll probably they went to the point where the kid he's got the scholarship and then they gave him the cost of living. And then that was it for a little bit. And then it was like, okay, we need to give these kids freedom. And then they gave them everything all at once.
Yep. Yeah, give an inch, you take a mile, right?
And it was all sorts of chaos. And that's where we are now, to where they have guys who are on the staff and they scout other players that they can recruit off those rosters in the offseason to fill your needs.
I remember when it was taboo to do that, okay, 2, 3, 4 years ago. And it was just one of those weird things where it's like, well, if you don't do it, somebody else is doing it to you. It's just,
Yeah.
The whole thing was a weird thing. So I don't know, to piggyback on what I was saying earlier about they have to legislate at some point. And I'm not for big government or any of that stuff, but this is one of those things where there's so much money being thrown around. It reminds me of AAU basketball now. Okay. That's kind of a disaster, the AAU basketball. They're in charge now. AAU basketball has taken over college football or college sports.
The mindset and the mentality, very similar.
I saw the documentary, dude. All right, and I was involved in AAU basketball a little bit with my brother and myself. It's cutthroat, and so it's what college football is now. It's cutthroat, man. And credit to Utah and BYU. They're at least so far this season they've answered the bell. Utah had a rough go the last 2 seasons, but BYU's answered the bell, and I think Utah looks poised. PK.
They do.
For an Arizona State type run last year. I'm telling you.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that. That's good for work.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to that game in October, man. I'm hoping both teams are undefeated or one loss for that game.
Is it October 11th? I think it is.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'm a schedule guy. I'll be looking that up shortly. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm virtually positive it is.
Yeah. We want to talk a little NFL with you as well. You were in the NFL there for a while. Jets, Patriots, Dolphins, Patriots, bouncing around a little bit, got a few years in. The difference, and we were talking about this off the air a little bit, about locks in the NFL. And I was telling PK, it's the NFL debut, but the Super Bowl champ wins at home. And Philly looks like they got it together. And they're going to have all sorts of emotion and a packed crowd. And Dallas, I don't know what Jerry's doing. He's not building a good football team. He's getting attention and drama. But it just feels to me like the Eagles are going to win this game. And there's probably a couple other games, but there's probably only a couple other games that I really think are locks this weekend. When you're in the NFL, does it feel like they're locks? Do teams walk out just flat out knowing they're going to win the game? Or is there always a little bit of doubt because of salary cap and parity in the league?
When I was in New England, my first time in New England, I was practice squad. I couldn't crack the 53. We had a great team. We won the Super Bowl that year. Every Sunday, we knew we were going to win. Okay, it was pretty. And we had Tom. We had some unbelievable defense. We were playing cover 2 on first and second day. We were killing people. And then the next year, we went to the Super Bowl. We lost to Philly. Same thing. And especially that Super Bowl game, we played Philadelphia. They're playing a backup. We're thinking we're for sure going to win this game. So I would say that's the only time. When I was in Miami or with the Jets, that was always, we'll see. It was a kind of a 50-50 deal, which was what the NFL wants, by the way. They want that parity. Mm-hmm. I looked at the spread of this Philly Cowboys. I think it's a 2-score spread. It's almost 9 points, if I'm not mistaken. That's pretty high for an opening game, right? No one's really seen these guys. And to your point about Dallas, we were mentioned off air. I had seen the documentary on Netflix with Jerry Jones and about the Cowboys. Jerry's running a reality show, right?
Yeah.
He is, and he's doing a heck of a job doing it, right? In this day and age, he's made billions of dollars doing what he's doing. He's set up his family. And when you watch that documentary, you can tell at the end of it, it's all about family for Jerry. Jerry loves to win, but he loves his family more. I think they all work for the Cowboys. And so when I see that, I see the Cowboys, I see that as just, it's like a mafia, right? That's the Cowboys mafia, the Jones mafia running the Cowboys. And he wants to win, but really, not really. I mean, he fires Bill Parcells, Jimmy Johnson. And so this season, whatever, okay, they'll be a 500 team or maybe get 10 wins. I don't see them as a big player. I'm looking forward to see Philly punch people in the mouth, right? They're fun to watch for old school football. They run the sneak 10 times a game. They run the ball. They got a quarterback who looks like a fullback. Their receiver, A.J. Brown, is the biggest specimen we've seen maybe since Randy Moss. So that's an exciting story. The Cowboys, they're a train wreck, right? I love the Cowboys. When the Cowboys are good, I watch the NFL. They're fun to watch. She likes watching the Cowboys. My wife. Everybody likes when the Cowboys are doing well.
So they're not really locks today, because if you're comparing it to the Patriots, nobody compares to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Do you think there are locks today? Could you look at this week's schedule and pick a lock?
Well, who does Kansas City play?
Chargers in Brazil. I don't think when you go to Brazil to play, it's a lock.
No,
that's crazy.
That's I played in Mexico City. That was crazy.
Right. The foreign travel is, and I get why they do it. There's money to be made, but to me, that introduces a whole wild card element. How was security in Mexico? Were you allowed to leave the hotel, or
no?
No.
It was a compound of Marriott. We didn't even have to do passport checks, dude. We flew onto that tarmac, got onto the buses, and went straight to the hotel, straight to the game, right back to the airport. Locks, I would say Philly. The reason why Philly is the only team, they're probably going to win 13, 14, 15 games. They're bigger than everybody else. They're powerful. They're pushing people around, man. They're gaining yardage in your face, and they can't do anything about it.
Titans are at the Broncos. That's an 8.5-point spread. Like the Philly game is an 8.5-point spread. And I just think the Titans, what are they doing at quarterback? Whereas the Broncos, they found a quarterback. They got a third-year coach and a second-year quarterback. The coach is a proven winner. I just think the Broncos are trending up. They were already a double-digit win team last year in playoffs. So if I'm looking for a locks, maybe I can find one more in the schedule, but those are the two. The Eagles.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Denver, they're trying to build similar to Philly. Okay, they got a quarterback who's powerful. He's played a lot of games, right? Mm-hmm. Hurts played a lot of games in college, man. We sometimes we forget about that. This guy, Bo Nix, has played more. Right, he played more college games than anyone in history.
Yeah.
And so he's got a lot of, and his dad was a heck of a coach down in Alabama, one of the great high school coaches down there, if I'm not mistaken. I see him as a guy who's going to have a great career. Not that that's some kind of revelation, right? But year 4, year 5 is when we start seeing, are you really that guy, right? Mm-hmm. Think Carson Wentz, right? Are you really that guy? And so, yeah, exactly.
Nope.
He just got signed as a backup. But locks are hard for me, PK, to answer your question. I don't know about that anymore. We had Tom Brady, dude.
I know.
We had Tom Brady, man. So whatever.
So again, I'm going here with a young quarterback who had a good rookie year. The Giants are at the Commanders. The Giants seem in turmoil. But a division game, I don't know if I'd throw lock on that. It's a 6.5-point spread. The Commanders obviously had a great year and a good playoff run.
Yeah, and the year 2, they say they get the book on you, right? That's always the cliche thing with Daniels.
I'm going with Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's
who they playing? Who they got?
Cleveland.
Oh, yeah, that might be. I mean, Joe Flacco's 40.
I just have a problem that Cincinnati's defense, until I actually see it. Oof. Tons of respect for the Joe Burrow, the quarterback. Great wide receivers. I'll watch them throw the ball all day long. Well, all year long, too. But, man, once the defense is out there on the field, avert your eyes, people. There are going to be crimes committed against football.
Avert your eyes?
Avert your eyes, PK.
Hey, they were historically bad last year.
Thank you.
You were so right about that, DJ.
Avert your eyes.
I mean, I
don't even know what that means.
You don't want to see it. You just don't want to see it.
Well, I would say Cleveland's kind of, Haslam runs it like he's running it like Jerry Jones. I mean,
back to mobbed up football teams in your mind.
I'm telling you, man, he's running like in this. We talked about Spanos off air, right? Some of these dudes, they run it, and even the guy in Cincinnati, they run it like their own. It's a family business, and so whatever that means to each individual family, right? Some families are more serious than others, like the family in New York, the Maras. They're pretty serious about winning football games.
Steelers are pretty serious.
They're pretty serious. So some of these cats are real serious, and again, Cleveland, all right, Cleveland. Oh. I mean, they're bad. They're really bad. Okay, they've been bad for a lot of years.
But Flacco knows how to play quarterback, and if he looks at out guys and sees guys who can't play, the ball is going
out quickly.
It's going out quickly, and he knows where the right matchup is.
That's fair. He's still over 40, dude.
I didn't say he could run. I didn't say he could throw 50 yards downfield.
Okay, he's a statue in there. They're going to heat him up.
Ball comes out quick.
They're going to heat that sucker up, man. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the backup, right? Because they're going to heat him up and beat us one-on-one. Throw it down the field.
Rookies.
The rookies are the backup, and Shadur Sanders.
My guy.
This TV right here you see is always on for breaking news. That's the number one reason, right?
Sure.
We've got ESPN on there. If anything happens, hired, fired, traded, whatever, boom, we'll know about it right away. We can pivot our conversation if it's worthwhile. The amount of time that Shadur Sanders has been on that television the last year is phenomenal. The season, the draft, the camp. I thought his first game, he proved he should make a roster because he completed 70% of his passes.
Yep.
And because I watched enough of the games, and I know there's a lot of quick stuff at the perimeter, but there is for every quarterback, right? No. But I saw him under pressure hit guys on crossing routes 8, 10, 12 yards downfield. Like, those are NFL throws. There isn't a lot of time in the NFL to throw stuff 30 yards down the field. You take your shots occasionally, but you take too many of those and your quarterback's going to get blown up. So I thought his accuracy, I don't know if it makes him an NFL starter. To me, that's to be determined. But there's 100 quarterbacks in the NFL, 70% in college. You got to make a roster.
I think he's had 8 offensive coordinators since he was a freshman.
Does that help? It didn't help 8. Alex Smith.
He's had 8, man. So I'm waiting. I'm betting on Shadur. He's a long-term bet for me. He always has been. His accuracy is second to none, all right? His poise, he's got some mechanical work he needs to work on, especially in the pocket. He drifts, all right? That's not a revelation either. He drifts out of that pocket. He takes sacks unnecessarily. But the guy, when it's not crunching time, he gets after it, and he can deliver the ball accurately, right? When you talk to all these QB gurus, that's the number one thing they talk about, not arm strength, not how tall you are. Can you deliver the ball accurately? He has that ability. You talked about that 70% plus completion percentage. So I'm betting on him long term, all right? And again, I don't think Flacco's going to make it through the season, guys. I don't. And Gabriel, we'll see, right? I'm rooting for Shador, though, all the way. I'm hoping he gets a shot, but I'm hoping he gets a shot in a nice situation. You know, if you're bad and it's week 14, right, and you're 3-11, right, and you're going into the game against whoever they're playing, they're going to Pittsburgh, right? It's a divisional game. Oh my goodness! So there's a lot of that there.
It's not good.
It's
going
not
to
good.
Pittsburgh to face that defense.
But we mentioned it earlier in PK. It's kind of a show, right? The Cleveland Browns are a show.
Yeah.
And they've made a lot of money off of bringing Shador in. I mean, a lot. Jersey sales, recognition. We're talking about him here in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
So the NFL is an interesting thing. It's kind of I don't know, man. I heard that they blackballed the kid. Nobody wanted to draft him. I heard that. I don't know if it's real or not. Even that in itself is a heck of a story. But locks, I'll take Philly every week this week as a lock.
Okay.
Every week of the year, I'm taking Philly as a lock. They're that talented, barring injury. I mean, the quarterback, again, he might be the worst player on the offense. They got so many dang guys, man. Look at their tailback, for heaven's sakes. They got guys coming.
Barkley.
Oh, my goodness.
You remember the play last year when he gets spun around and he leaps and hurdles the guy backwards?
Backwards, man.
We watch a lot of football. Things never
Did you
seen
do that,
at any level.
Heck no, dude.
High school,
On a
college,
trampoline, okay?
Yeah,
That's it, dude. Playing hoops with my brothers. No way,
Well, you
man.
could throw the ball over that mountain.
You know what? I'm Uncle Rico some days, but I ain't Saquon Barkley. Gosh, dang, that was you can't even program that in a game. It's so unbelievable, man.
Whittingham told me you told him that you could hit a golf ball 400 yards.
I used to be able to. You can ask Dave Kruger about that and Paul Kruger. I've done that before. Windy conditions, Talons Cove, okay, but
Wind out of the south.
okay. Hey, that hill at court, bam! I do hitting that thing. I took a nice little ride, all right. Hit a hill.
What hole?
Oh, I can't remember, but they were there. Okay, they were there for that. And I cut a corner. Right, it was probably not as far, but on the course, it's about 380, 400 yards, man.
There was something on Twitter last night. I went down the rabbit hole and I was watching some PGA Tour stuff, and they had the longest drives of the year, and they all clipped together. And there's a downhill. You know what hole it is because you played the course in Maui, and Finau, 18. And Finau got one, and they were talking about it, the groove. They're talking about it's like being in the turn at NASCAR. You got to be in the groove,
yes,
where the hill carries the ball the most.
It's 18, yeah.
And he had it like 3 yards from the rough, and they're like, "That's the sweet spot. That is gonna go. The hill's got it now."
It does at that particular. I'm a short hitter, and on that one I was hitting a 9-iron into the par 5.
A 9-iron,
not from the back.
Yeah.
Not from the back tees, obviously, but yeah, if you hit it right up on the right side, and then it'll kick left, and it'll just you feel like it'll roll.
It's gonna roll into the ocean.
I mean, we've seen those British Open clips and warm-ups when those guys are teeing off in some of those conditions. You get some conditions now. You get some wind. I've seen guys the other way hitting into the wind, hitting 150. All right, so I'm not a golfer anymore, though.
No,
you gave it up.
I gave it up, man. I got to have shoulder surgery in a month.
Man.
I'm at Utah in January. I slip on the stairs. I'm in my sandals. I slip and I hit my. And the irony is, all those years at Utah, I never shoulder, and then I blow my shoulder out walking on the stairs.
So your NFL career is over?
It's finished. All right.
So what are you doing with the Utah Islanders? Explain to people what the Utah Islanders are.
Well, just to back up,
Yeah. Okay.
I was at Colorado a year ago during training camp. I resigned, and then I decided to get married and move to Hawaii. I volunteered at a high school out there. I was in the Big Island, Keau High School, working in a kitchen, just relaxing. And then I went to Mississippi. My children were still living in Mississippi, so I was out there a few months ago, and I get a phone call from this guy, Chris Helin. And he's like, "Hey, man, Jesse Boone gave me your number, and Ray Stowers. My coach just quit. I have about 18 guys, and we have a game in 60 days. I said, okay, I'm going to law school, and I'm kind of done with football. He says, well, let me fly out there, and I'll talk to you. So he flew out and talked to me. This is about almost 3 months ago now. And he gave me an offer I couldn't refuse,
Oh, nice.
It was a good deal at the time. I wasn't working, and I didn't. I asked my wife and my ex-wife, and I have kids there. I said, hey, can I go do this? And they said, yeah. And so I came here, and then all of a sudden we started building. Okay, I hired Brian Blecken, defensive coordinator. Senny Valnuku is my D-line coach. Steve Savoy City, is my receivers coach. Darrell Max at linebackers. Okay, we Junior Anguilao, he's from East High School, played at Texas, offensive line coach. And so we started, and I started hustling, right? We started getting guys, and so we got a team together. We played Snow 2 weeks ago. We got beat pretty bad, 59-7, but it was promising on defense. We played Laverne last week. We beat them. That's kind of a big deal for us.
Laverne's a small school down in the
so that's
LA
why you were
area.
down there.
Yeah, we were down in LA playing Laverne on a Friday. So we beat them, D3, and we beat them pretty handily. So we, and the season's a short season. We're done October 11th. It's our last game. And our goal is to be a feeder team for Utah and BYU. I think next year we're going to put in place where it's junior college football in Salt Lake and Utah County. Mm-hmm. So our recruiting pitch is why go to Ephraim? And why even go to Utah State? You don't have to start your clock to play for me. You can take 9 units, you can play for me. We're still a club team, even though we have an affiliation with Salt Lake Community College. Because we front the cost, we're a club team. And so we have an interesting niche. I think we're getting calls every week about other community colleges who are looking into our model because we're really a prep school mixed with a junior college, mixed with a club team, mixed with a semi-pro team.
Well, then I'm wondering who your recruiting base is because, they eliminated all the junior college football in my hometown in Phoenix, which was, I just think, is awful.
Nightmare.
And because they'd had it for so many years and it was a big deal, gone to games and all that. Obviously, new kids played there, but they eliminated that. So where are you getting your kids?
All local for the most part, right? I got kids calling me from out of state, and I got coaches calling me from out of state, but we're going to try to be a local team as best we can. And then ideally, we'd like to be a feeder team. We want people to sign, we want to put it in works where we have a legal document that's basically Utah and BYU have first right of refusal if you play for us. I don't know exactly how the jargon would work out, but we want to arbitrate that and get that on. We want to be the feeder school for Utah and BYU specifically.
And I get that, and I've talked to Dave Arslanian because he has a similar deal to you, although maybe are you sticking mostly with 18 and 19-year-old kids?
We're all the way up to 26, 27.
Right.
Man. We'll take them anywhere, man.
Yeah. And so his kids are younger, and I guess that was one of the reasons that you didn't play last year. I don't know.
Probably. I mean, and there's a team.
He's got a team in Ogden and a team down in St. George.
Yeah, and we're going to play them.
You are going to play them this year?
We're going to play them, okay? We're going to play them this year, and they're going to try to do the similar model. Our one, I would say, niche is that we have the academic partnership with Slick.
Yeah, they've done theirs through SUU. It's a similar deal.
And so we have that available to us here, and we're in the Valley. It's one of those things where all three of those programs are going to be able to survive, especially the one in St. George, because why would you want to start your clock if they're not paying you? And you go to Utah State, right, and I love Utah State. They're not paying anybody up there, gosh dang it. Okay, so if this is really about money, some of these kids are going to take those gigs, but a lot of kids are going to say, well, I'll take my chances on another year at prep school. Get some tape, maybe not start my clock, take some classes, and then the old gray shirt rules. Gray shirts, they just weren't able to play. Now you can play. And so it makes it an interesting thing. You can live in Salt Lake City, go to junior college, and then still be available. I got kids who are full-time students at Utah and BYU playing for me. So it's an interesting thing. It's a club team, but we got this we even have trade school. We got guys going to CDL school. We got guys that are going to a welding school. So I'm real happy. We got 50 kids in school this year, right? I'm very, very happy about that.
That's positive.
Do you play home games?
We had one home game this year. We played Snow. We might have another one at the end of the season.
Where?
Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman.
Oh, okay.
The old RSL.
Yeah.
And we
did where the Monarchs play and the rugby team plays. And
That's
it's like a 5,000-seat stadium.
And I know I don't know how long this thing's going to work, but I think it's going to work. Yeah. I think this is I lived in Europe for a couple of years on my mission. It's the model over there for all sports, basketball, even football. You club it up, and it's division done by divisions. And if you look at the way it's naturally sorting out now, it's kind of already naturally happening because Utah State they're not paying anybody. Weber's not paying anybody, so it's kind of self-going into AAA, AA, all that stuff.
So are Weber State, Southern Utah, and Utah Tech interested in some of your kids?
Absolutely. I have some of their kids, okay? But I got a receiver right now who I'm getting ready for a pro workout. He's a freak, man. And he doesn't want to go to school, right? He's got his own business he's running. He's a car detailer. But he started out at Utah State a few years ago. For whatever reason, he didn't, school wasn't for him necessarily, but he's a guy. I just talked to the Broncos about him yesterday. They want me to send him the tape. We got guys who are in all aspects. It's a potpourri of talent, right? I got an 18-year-old kid who just out of East High School. He's a running back. He's unbelievable. Then I got a 22-year-old who's ready to go pro. So Interesting. I don't know how it's going to shake out at the end of the season, but our goal is to feed players at Utah and BYU. That's our goal. We know who the king is in this town, right? In this whole area, it's Utah and BYU. So we want to be a feeder team. We want them to stash guys with us, and we want to be able to get them guys.
Trevor, awesome to see you.
Well, great to have me. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in, talking a little college football, talking a little pro football,
I'm
excited.
Islanders. I'm excited for the Sun Devils versus the Utes this year, okay? I'm really kind of...
That's the game that's October 11th. The BYU game's October 18th.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay. That's not what you said, but it's what you meant.
That's back-to-back. That's 2 good weeks, man.
Yeah, it was ASU the 11th, and then the following
BYU
week.
the 18th.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Trevor, thanks a lot. Good to see you. DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone.
Hey, bro.
You hear us every day with our crazy opinions.
Hey, what you doing?
Well, now it's time to hear from you.
Hey, great show.
Download the KSL Sports app and fire off your thoughts with the call-in tab on the bottom of your screen.
This show is fantastic. It's the one that captivates me the most.
You can tell PK to stop singing.
Cheap bangs.
Let Jake and Ben know what you really think of the Jazz. Tell Hans and Scotty about your favorite barbecue spot or what color of tie JJ should be wearing on TV. The best entries will be played on the air. Download the KSL Sports app now and hit the call-in button to let your voice be heard.
I think you guys do an incredible job.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Slacker Radio Headlines brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan Wealth today, your local trusted financial fiduciary, 801-899-7600, or visit the website at TrajanWealth.com. Time to get you up to date on everything you missed. If you missed the first 3.5 hours of the show, you missed story time with Barry Trammell. He broke out a couple of Barry Switzer stories that were very good. Very good stories. He also talked Big 12 football. Not happy with Colorado's clock management. Not happy with Baylor getting beat. Doesn't want to give up on the Bears yet. And they do play SMU this weekend. That's a big game for the conference.
Only one team should be given up on, and that's the...
Cincinnati.
No.
Oh.
That's UC Los Angeles Bruins.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Big 12 team.
Oh, Big 12? No. No, Cincinnati kind of blew that game.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
UCF, Jacksonville State, 17-10 win.
Okay, yeah, but when are you playing UCF? I have to look and see
Look
if
at
these
the
guys are
schedules,
playing.
right.
But because let's give them an opportunity to get better as the season progresses. Not to say that they will, but let's give them the opportunity.
Utah does not play UCF this year, and BYU plays them in the season finale. So that's a maximum amount of time to improve.
Then maybe they've mailed it in, or maybe they've improved.
And Barry said he didn't read into the money games because when Oklahoma State had a really good team a few years ago, they really struggled in a money game, and he thought it was just purely motivation and focus. And they scuffled around for a while and then got busy and won the game.
I don't know how good they'll be. But the word I'm getting at Tempe is that they went in with a plan to work on stuff as opposed to we're going to win the game.
Oh.
And
they won comfortably. They won by enough.
But they specifically had some things that they wanted to work on.
Yeah, as opposed to let's work on this as opposed to making sure we score 50 points.
Right, and they could have run the ball a lot more, but they know without Scatterboot they're going to have to throw the ball more. You see where I'm going?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
that's the word I got. Now, whether that means they're good or not remains to be seen.
They were working on it because they aren't good enough at it, and the question is, will they improve enough at it to be good at it? And so that's all out there.
Or will they just be good enough to run the ball so they don't have to? But
they won 38-19. And they were up 31-13 after three quarters. They had that game.
Yeah, but
so
you're supposed to win by more.
I know you're supposed to win by 50. But to me, that's different than UCF.
Understood. I got you.
UCF was down.
Yeah, but they've got a program that's reloading a little bit here. So, yeah.
They needed 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to win 17-10 over Jacksonville State, which is, I think, a good FCS program. They've been
a question
good.
of whether you play a good FCS. Now, NAU is ranked.
Right.
So, there's a difference there. And a lot of these teams are scared to play some of these better FCS teams.
I don't know why teams are embracing South Dakota State and North Dakota State.
Well, maybe they want a little competition, too. Yeah. So, we'll see. But the point is, don't go crazy on the first game against these lower Division ones, and maybe don't go crazy at all. But man, everybody and their dog is going crazy on the Utes.
10 a.m. Iowa State. Is Iowa State the real deal?
I think they are.
Yeah.
I picked them to win.
Beat Iowa, get to 3-0. Then the top shelf, you're right. Everybody's fired up about the Utes after the way they dominated UCLA.
And they should be.
And if Iowa State beats Iowa, everybody's going to be fired up about them.
Yeah, and they should be.
And who else is going to go in that group? TCU, week 1. Now, they're off week 2 because they played on Monday, so they took a bye the second week. So TCU 1-0, but people are looking at them. And ASU's got a chance here. They're going to the SEC. Now, it's low-end SEC, but nonetheless, they're going to Mississippi State.
Lavelle Edwards told me SEC speed, it's real.
Yeah.
He told me at, what was that place?
Big Five Huddle?
Yeah, but the one they used to have, Green something?
Oh, Green Street?
Is that what it was?
Was it a Green Street at the end?
Yeah.
Because it was out on North Temple at a place. And it was at a hotel downtown originally. It moved around. But, I think it went to Green Street at the very end.
Yeah. And we were in the restroom. Specifically.
The bathroom at Green Street.
We were talking.
He's giving you SEC knowledge.
Yes. Yeah. Literally, we were talking about that, and he was talking about SEC speed is real. I can remember him talking.
He had a good team late in his career. I think it was 98, which would have been the third of the last season. And he had a good team, and they went and played a good game and lost to Alabama. And the difference was Sean Alexander, who eventually was
a good running back.
Beyond, wasn't he the NFL MVP? I think he had, I know he had an 1,800-yard season. He might have had a 2,000-yard season in the NFL. He was big time, and I think he ran for 4 TDs maybe in that game.
Yeah.
And Reno Mahe, who played in the NFL, was on that team and scored a big-time TD in it. It was a great game, but it's like, I think that's his point is here he is with NFL players and a really good team, and they go down there and get beat by the NFL MVP. Mm-hmm. Like, this is what you're signing up for.
So when you go in the SEC country, you better be ready to play, and even if that team isn't as good as appears. And how do we know who's good, who isn't good, really, right now?
It's early, and we've seen big turnarounds for better and for worse.
But I think for the Big 12 purposes, the league needs the Devils to win.
NFL kicks off tonight. Eagles, Cowboys. The champs at home with all the energy.
Yeah, and they should win. I don't view the Cowboys as dirt.
8-9.
Okay, that means you're going to have to beat some good teams along the way.
Fact. And 8-9 teams can pull an upset any given week.
Yeah. Not that I think that if Philly loses this game, oh my gosh.
Well, I think we've learned that in the NFL.
Yeah. Talk to me in mid-October.
6 weeks in, you're 2-4. It's still not over. 10-7 usually get you in the playoffs now. And I know it didn't for Seattle last year, but they're the only team that got to 10 wins last year that didn't get in.
Yeah, this is the first season with 17 games, so we'll see how that plays out.
With the 17 games and 7 playoff teams, I think 10 wins is going to be a really good number.
Okay,
so even if you're 2-4 after 6 games, it's like, okay, go 8-3.
As Lenny Kravitz sings, it ain't over till it's over.
All right. Thanks for that.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's a Yogi quote or something like that.
It ain't over till it's over.
But I like the Lenny Kravitz song.
The NBA is altering the All-Star game format. They're going to have 3 All-Star teams of 8 players each. 2 for the U.S., 1 for the world.
Can we just say the world?
The international players, the foreign players. The world.
The foreign guys.
And we already know that team now, don't we? Luka Doncic is on it. The Joker's on it. Giannis Antetokounmpo is on it.
I would put Wembanyama.
Victor Wembanyama will be on it. You're right. That's 4. We're halfway there.
Marketing?
I wouldn't put him on as a lock, but I can see, he's in the group. I mean, I assume at the end there'll be 6 or 7 players for the last 2 spots.
I'd have to go through all the rosters.
I would too, but just off the top of my head, I'm just rattling through, MVPs and stars.
LeBron, he's not of this world.
So he'll play for the world.
He is the world.
He is the world. He's intergalactic. It's back to Space Jam.
I mean, I'm sure he's well known throughout many portions of this earth. I mean, for as long and as good as he's been.
Yeah.
And how he puts himself out there and does commercials and whatnot. And movies and the whole spiel. Yeah, he's an international celebrity. Yeah, for sure. But obviously he wouldn't be qualified if they're going to go. You have to be foreign born. I guess Canada counts too, because then you get SGA.
Jay Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah. So I knew we were leaving somebody out. There's 5. I mean, I'd be stunned if any of those 5 missed.
Unless they begged off with injury or wanted
that
time
could happen.
off. But
then
somehow I don't consider the Canadians who played U.S. ball most of their lives as foreigners. You know what I mean?
And yet, he's going to end up on the world team.
I know. It just doesn't seem that that's the case, because there's a bunch of guys you don't even realize that were born in Canada.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about the Australians now. I mean, they just had an Olympic medal. Joe was talking about that last time we had him on. I wonder who's the top Australian player who would make it now.
I'd have to look at the rosters, but off the top of my head, Giddy.
Yeah. But see, to me, he's more in the Markkanen
second
column.
Or third. I would put Markkanen ahead of him.
Ahead of him, yeah. But it's like you got to go out and have a year. Be having a year for those last 2 spots.
Right.
Yeah.
That actually would be entertaining to see, which I've always said the last several years, it's far more entertaining to see who makes it than the actual game.
Yeah. Yes, debating the roster is more fun.
Yeah, particularly at the foreign guys when there's been so many of them come over and be outstanding players. And, yeah. Who are they going to get? Nowitzki to coach it? Steve Nash?
Nash should be good. I don't know about Dirk coaching. He seems to have stayed away from that. Seems to have steered
because he's enjoying being Mr. Maverick.
I'm having too much fun here. I don't need that. I look at me and I look at Jason Kidd, and I think I'm having more fun than Jason Kidd.
He's Germany's Dallas' version of Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily nationwide, but I saw him on a pickleball tournament. They had a celebrity pickleball, and there he was playing pickleball, and he just is everybody's buddy. Good for him.
DJ PK coming up next. Your feedback. Stay with us.
And it's all over almost here.
Don't go nowhere.
You know a youth sports volunteer? Well, I want you to nominate him or her for the Hercules Hero of the Week. Submit your nomination at kslsports.com/contest and listen every Thursday afternoon to JJ and Alex for the winner. That's today. Help us celebrate the efforts of those volunteers making an impact with the Hercules Hero of the Week. And it's sponsored by Hercules First Federal Credit Union and Beehive Meals.
Time for your feedback. What do you think?
I don't think much.
You did too.
I'm not a thinker.
College or pro? Which one you taking if you had to choose? A lot of you are just saying both. Wild Turkey says fandom is much more passionate for me at the college level, but I can watch any NFL game because there's so many opportunities to gamble. Okay, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Aren't there all those opportunities to gamble in college games?
Yeah, but I think that because I agree with that sentiment. I've said that I can watch any NFL game anytime because I'm going to know players. I cannot watch any college game. I like the college game a little bit better, but I cannot watch any college game.
I can't watch any college game, and I can't watch any NFL game. But the NFL does a great job of burying the bad games and regionalizing them, so it rarely comes down to that.
I understand
because I can watch at least half the NFL.
But I can watch any team in the NFL because it's the quality of the game. If there's 2 good teams and the one team stinks that day, and I got 2 lesser teams and it's a narrow game going down to the end, I'm going to be drawn to that one. Plus, I'll know every team. I know, not personally, obviously, but I know of guys. I've followed them. There's plenty of college teams. I have no clue. You don't know anybody.
Yeah. Brandon says it's got to be college. NIL's changing it some, but it still has a purity factor. NFL's a bunch of overpaid, whiny athletes with inflated egos.
Yeah, man, I don't know about the purity factor. You're down to like the 2 or 3%. No, but I got over that a long time ago because I was inside the business and I knew what was going on. And I advocated pay because they were already getting paid. Make it, why not? And the coaches were making millions and on and on. But the purity factor for me, you know, if you want purity, I don't even know if you can go to high school.
No.
Where you can go
No, there's kids transferring
If
left
you
and right
want
in
the
high school.
purity, the most pure, I don't think anything is totally pure, but I think women's sports are far more pure than men's sports.
Yeah, I can see that. But we're already seeing NIL and transferring and some of the, the thing is, as women's basketball becomes more popular, all the things that people don't like about men's college basketball, we're starting to see it in women's. And it just comes down to it's the popularity, it's the money, it's the ability to transfer and pick a spot to win. And if they're transferring to your school and it makes your team better, that doesn't bother people. No. But if you look across the entire sport.
No, the Utes got Bennett O'Shea when Tonavasa canceled or transferred. But it's okay that New Mexico got bent out of shape when
Devin Dampier transferred. Yeah. And when he turns around and hands off to the running back who transferred from New Mexico or the one who transferred from Washington State.
As good as Tonavasa is, and he's very good, if I say, hey, you lose Tonavasa, but you get Devin Dampier, you taking that trade?
Quarterback is the most important position in the sport. Get that right, and then start fixing the other things, which actually is the D-line next because you got to pressure the quarterback because the quarterback's the most important.
Yeah.
NBA All-Star Game will reportedly have a round-robin tournament with 8-man teams of U.S. and foreign players. Will this get you interested? BYUNLVPHIN.
What's the PHIN?
Dolphins? I don't know.
Fins?
Oh, yeah, here it is. It is. UNLV, BYU, Miami Dolphins, Boston Red Sox, Golden Knights.
Oh, got them covered, man.
Got
5 teams there.
Well,
All different sports.
So did you want to draw a profile? So Mormon grew up in Las Vegas. That would explain UNLV and the Golden Knights and BYU. And then you just watched on TV and fell in love with Miami and Boston, I guess. I don't know how else to
Served
explain
a
that.
mission in Boston.
Served a mission in Boston?
If you're going to go with the LDS thing, which you already introduced.
So that would cover one, either Miami or Boston, right? Dan Marino, you're of the right age, so I fell in love with the Dolphins because of Dan Marino if you're of a certain age.
And they're the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Dolphins.
It just sounds good.
We went to Catalina the other day.
Mm-hmm. See Dolphins?
About halfway. It's like 25, 26 miles.
Okay.
My guess would be about halfway. Don't know for sure, but you get the point. And all of a sudden, you're sitting on the boat and you're looking out. So you're looking back towards L.A., right? Uh-huh. And you just seen these. You thought we were at SeaWorld, and they were getting treats. These dolphins just flying through the sky. Who doesn't like that? Dolphins. Is there anybody who doesn't like dolphins? Everybody likes dolphins.
Patriots don't like Dolphins.
No, they don't. They figured it's an easy W.
We're all done. Jake and Ben are coming up next right here on The Zone.